It was a serene Wednesday evening in the city's most affluent neighborhood. Sparrows sang, water features murmured, and the air carried the scent of manicured lawns and exotic lilies. A charcoal gray sedan rolled into the expansive private driveway. Emerging from the car was Nathan Caldwell, 35 years old, with a chiseled face, neatly groomed, and wealth beyond measure. Clad in a custom-fitted navy blazer, he strode toward his grand estate's entrance, clutching a polished leather satchel. His thoughts were consumed by corporate acquisitions, gala events, and the next multi-million-dollar venture. As he reached to unlock the door, a shout pierced the calm. "Halt! Don't touch it!" He whirled around. Racing toward him, barefoot, was a young boy, no more than 8 years old. His faded green shirt was smudged with grime and sweat, his gray pants torn, and in his hand he clutched a tattered blue cap. His feet pounded the pavement, eyes wide with fear. "Sir, please, don't go inside," he gasped, barely catching his breath. Nathan froze, bewildered. "Who are you? This is my property." But the boy pressed on. "You can't enter. They hid something in there. Trust me." Nathan's hand lingered near the door handle. His first instinct was to summon security. This could be a trick, or worse, a scheme. Yet something held him back. Perhaps the boy's quivering voice, the raw desperation in his plea, or the tears welling in his eyes. "Who hid what?" Nathan demanded. The boy glanced over his shoulder as if expecting someone to appear. "Two guys in dark jackets. They broke in last night. I saw them. I was sleeping near your garbage bins. They didn't notice me." Nathan's eyes narrowed. "What did they do?" The boy's voice trembled. "They said, 'The wealthy always come out on top, but not tonight.' One of them placed something by the entrance. It made a ticking sound. I heard it." Nathan's pulse quickened. He set his satchel down and stepped back from the door. "What's your name, kid?" "Jamal," the boy replied, his thin frame shaking. His voice dropped to a whisper. "They left just before dawn. I waited all day for you to return." Nathan stared at the polished door handle. His hand had been moments from disaster. He pulled out his phone. Within 10 minutes, police arrived, and 5 minutes later, a bomb disposal team was on site. A concealed explosive device had been rigged behind the door's frame, wired to detonate the instant it was opened. One move closer, and Nathan Caldwell would have been reduced to a news story. Nathan stood outside his estate, arms folded, eyes distant. He couldn't fathom it. A homeless child, alone, with nothing but a worn shirt and a brave heart. It saved his life. But one question lingered. Who wanted him dead? Then it hit him. 8 months prior, his company, Caldwell Enterprises, had secured a deal to construct high-end apartments in a low-income area. Countless families were displaced. Local shops shut down. Nathan had ignored the demonstrations and the furious letters. His focus had been on revenue. Among those evicted was a man named Marcus Reed, a former mechanic who lost his home, his partner, and custody of his daughter due to the upheaval. Marcus had once confronted Nathan at his office, pleading for justice or aid. Nathan had him removed. Now, police confirmed Jamal's account. The two hooded figures, one was Marcus Reed, the other, an associate with expertise in explosives. They had intended to send a message to show Nathan and the world that choices have consequences. They hadn't anticipated a boy hidden among the trash bins, a boy no one saw. As officers secured the scene, Jamal sat quietly on the garden steps, clutching his blue cap, watching. Nathan approached slowly, guilt weighing heavily on him. He crouched beside the boy. "Why'd you warn me?" Jamal shrugged. "You seemed kind in the photo." Nathan blinked. "What photo?" Jamal reached into his pocket and pulled out a crumpled, damp magazine clipping. It featured an article about Nathan's donation to a children's shelter 4 years ago. Jamal's hands shook as he held it out. "I used to stay there," he whispered. The silence that followed was profound. Nathan stood motionless, the clipping in his hand, his heart heavy. The magazine page quivered in Nathan's grasp as he studied it. An old image of himself at a charity event, holding a large donation check. He vaguely recalled the occasion. A publicity stunt. A few $1 million donated to a shelter to polish his company's reputation after negative headlines. He hadn't visited since. But Jamal had kept that clipping, worn and faded, yet treasured. Nathan blinked back emotion and waved over an officer. I want this boy looked after. Food, clothes, a doctor, everything, right now. Jamal looked up, startled. You're not upset with me? Nathan knelt again, placing a hand on the boy's shoulder. Kid, you saved my life. Meanwhile, another scene unfolded. Police had apprehended Marcus Reed, caught attempting to leave the city. His accomplice was detained at a train station nearby. Nathan watched as Marcus was led past the estate, struggling and shouting, I pleaded with you. My daughter's gone because of you. Their eyes locked. For the first time, Nathan didn't see a villain. He saw a shattered man, broken by loss, while Nathan had celebrated profits. What Marcus didn't know was that Nathan had his own wounds. 5 years ago, Nathan's younger sister had died, alone, addicted, on the streets. Nathan had been too late to save her. No amount of wealth had mattered. That pain lingered. Perhaps that's why Jamal's cry had struck so deeply, echoing a voice Nathan had failed to heed long ago. That evening, after the property was cleared, Nathan did something unprecedented. He shed his blazer. He sat beside Jamal on the estate's steps, two figures under the glow of the porch light. What if I hadn't listened? Nathan asked softly. Jamal didn't respond immediately. He hugged his knees. Some people don't hear until it's too late. Those words resonated. Nathan looked at him, truly looked, at the frayed sleeves, the scuffed knees, the dirt in his hair. Where's your family? Jamal shrugged. Don't know. My mom left me at the shelter, said she'd return. She didn't. I ran when they tried sending me to foster care again. Nathan stood. Come on. Where? Inside, he said with a smile. I've got a spare room and plenty of leftover pizza. Jamal hesitated, then took his hand. It wasn't just a step through the doorway. It was a bridge between two lives. Days passed. Nathan kept Jamal close, fed, clothed, safe. But more than that, he listened. Jamal shared tales of life on the streets, the faces he'd seen, the names of other kids. Nathan noted every detail. Then he took action. He revived the shelter he'd once supported, but this time with purpose. He hired dedicated staff, added a counseling wing, and placed Jamal's name on a plaque at the entrance. To the boy who changed more than one life. Marcus Reed received a lighter sentence after evidence showed he'd exhausted all legal options before resorting to crime. Nathan funded a lawyer to locate Marcus's daughter in the foster system, ensuring a path to reunion when the time came. But the true story was between Nathan and Jamal. At a press conference 3 weeks later, Nathan stood before journalists and made an unexpected announcement. I'd like you to meet my son. He rested his hand on Jamal's shoulder. I didn't adopt him out of obligation or thanks. I did it because, for the first time, someone saw me beyond my wealth, and I saw someone who deserved more than the world had offered. Jamal looked up, eyes glistening, still clutching his blue cap. And that house, where Nathan nearly lost his life, became the place where he truly began to live. Not alone, but with a son who had saved him in every way. If you loved this story, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more heartfelt, gripping, and surprising tales. Let us know in the comments. Where are you reading from? We enjoy hearing from you. Until next time, stay compassionate, stay curious, and keep reading.